dismantled it again, and Hearst bought it at a sale in New York. In fact, he bought 80% of this in New York. So while it is all from Europe, folks, he pretty much bought it in New York. Now, by the way, my friends from China, or that are Chinese, he had a Chinese home. He had a German home. He had a French home. His wife lived in a chateau with 96 rooms in Sands Point. Oh yeah, gotta give you guys this dirt real quick. He's married for 46 years, but he lives with his girlfriend for 31 of the 46 years. And she's the hostess here. So his wife stays in New York with their 5 sons and her 96-room French chateau, $1 million year allowance, and her 35-room apartment, but somehow she was able to make ends meet. And she lives there, and they separate. They don't divorce because she's Catholic. And there's other reasons too. It probably would have hurt her position in society. A woman would have to give up all her friends and her position if she divorced. So they stay married. She lives back there, and he lives there with his girlfriend. So the hostess with the mostess was an actress named Mary Davies. Now, if you all came up, you weren't married, you were not staying together. So the single man stayed in the guest house that you saw out here, and the single lady stayed way up here in the cloisters. And some of them would say, well, wait a minute, what about you and your girlfriend, Mary Davies? And he'd say, I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it is. Understand that. So in Español we say, mi casa es mi casa, my house is my rules. So somebody out there might be like that. I don't know. Would you like to open the door? You're not married, are you? You are married. Okay, good. You can stay in the same house. That's good. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. All meals were, that's another thing. Put your drink in the guest rooms, the guest houses. So this is where all meals were taken.
This dining room. I think your dining room is too small.
And Hearst would have similar numbers of people. I mean, he really did put a lot of people to work. And nationwide, William Randolph Hearst was the largest single employer outside of the federal government during the Great Depression. So he had 38,000 employees. And they were, running, he's got 26 newspapers, 14 magazines, 11 radio stations. So he has a lot of employees, and he's paying them well. And incidentally, ladies, if you worked for Mr. Hearst and you did the same job as a man, you got paid the same. Wow. So he was very egalitarian in many respects. But he was rich, which is neither here. You either like rich people or you don't. It's one of those deals. And today I'm liking him, but I usually don't like him. But anyway. Okay. Come on in. Well, I don't. Okay, so my friends, this is where you would come for all meals: breakfast 9 to 12, lunch 2 to 4, and dinner at 9 o'clock. Rather late, but it cools down by 9 o'clock. Are you taking a wish to catch it? No, you're not. Okay, I gotta tell you something. He did have ketchup on the table. And look at this setting, and it doesn't really work in here, in my opinion. This is not fine china, it's stoneware. Now, the story on the china is a Chinese story, but these are not made in China. If they were made in China, they'd be very delicate and very... these are what we call stoneware in England. And they were used at the turn of the century. Now, you guys that are Americans, we have an expression in America that is special. Not that special. Anyways, so he's camping. And if you think of this right here, because my family likes to go camping. Well, I like to camp in Sheridan, but I'm just telling you what I'm saying. Under a tent in the Sierras, right? Well, if you camp this way under a tent, it's very elegant, actually, under a tent. But in here, it loses something. I think it loses something. Okay? Doesn't really matter. But anyway, Hearst sat here, Mary Davies there, and we're going to stop down. So what would you like to know? This is how we were decorated. I don't think I mentioned that. This is all the there, play some games, meet some people. I knew you had a question, and then you come in here and eat. Yes?
What's the story with the mace?
You've been here before.
No.
He nailed it on the head. It is a mace. It's a ceremonial mace. We have one. There's a mace bearer that comes out in our own Congress, in our House of Representatives, and brings that out. And then the Speaker of the House right now is John Boehner. And whether you like him or not, he's out there, and they can make the laws of the land when they have this. Now, the king this one's from Ireland, by the way. If the king has it, we call it a scepter. And Queen Elizabeth, who just celebrated, 62 years, she has one of these and a scepter. She has both. So her scepter right in front of it, not being very, subtle about that. You're definitely the boss here. Here's the deal, folks. The first couple of nights that you would be invited, you have a placemaker. He'd know who you were because you didn't just pop in. You had to have an invitation. And it would say, come to my ranch at San Simeon. Never said Hearst Castle. So he'd have the invitation, right? And he'd sit up here where he would talk to you and get to know you. Well, as the week progressed and you folks came in, what would start happening is your seat would start going like this every night. So what do you suppose happened to you when you got down to the ends of these tables? Yeah. Some people didn't get that. So he'd have to, tell them, well, it's time to go. So I think that's why the average day was